Marcellus, I'll start with you. Do the Chiefs need Jalen Ramsey to contend with the Patriots in the AFC?
No, they don't. And I don't even want to go down the path of figuring out how much it's going to cost them to acquire him. You got to stay pat in this situation. And one, you have to remember the reference point of last year, the AFC Championship game, when you went out there and lost a one-possession game to the New England Patriots, Super Bowl champions. Your defense was second to last year. And this year, new defensive coordinator. You addressed it in terms of Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu, Bashaud Breeland. You got some new assets out there. 19th ranked already in 2 weeks. And if you think about it, people are like, 19th, you're supposed to be happy about that? I remind everyone that the New England Patriots played a team last year called the Los Angeles Rams that had the 19th ranked defense. So this defense is already adequate enough to get you to the Super Bowl, and then Patrick Mahomes got to do your magic and get them over that hump. Rolling the dice and saying, no, let's poach our team of a first-round pick and a starter to bring in Jalen Ramsey, who I remind you, despite the perception and the love for his game, he was 24th ranked as a cornerback last year coming out of the season. This year, in 2 weeks, he's already dropped to 89th ranked. So if his trajectory is going south and your team's trajectory is going north, why is this a conversation? No Jalen Ramsey.
Woo!
Smokes! He's Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Wow. No. I'm going all in. The Kansas City Chiefs need Jalen Ramsey. And the reason they need Jalen Ramsey is because for them to win the championship, their defense has to play at a 15 or higher level. And they can win and score points, but they have to be able to get stops. And without a legitimate corner, they don't have the ability to get stops, particularly against the Patriots. When you look at the way this is lining up, it's lining up like these guys are going to meet in the AFC Championship game, a heavyweight title fight. You have to have enough weapons to deploy against the Patriots. Having Jalen Ramsey to go on AB or Josh Gordon allows them then to zone everybody else. I think the Chiefs need to make the move, and I don't think any price is too expensive.
I think if you brought him in, you would most likely, because of how good Kendall Fuller is, he would probably replace Breeland on that other side. Now, the one thing you got to understand about the New England Patriots, it's not about how you cover that's going to beat the New England Patriots. It's how you rush, all right? Pass rush. You're talking about Alex Okafor and Frank Clark, who have no sacks on the season yet for this Kansas City Chiefs defensive front at the ends position. If you're going to try to bolster your defense and bulk up your defense to be able to win an AFC game, you look historically, why was the reasons that the New York Giants were able to beat that New England Patriots team in the Super Bowl? It was their pass rush, guys like Ossie and guys like Strahan and all those guys. And you're looking at the ability to do what they needed to do up front. Now, what's scary about that is you had a really strong defensive front coming into that Super Bowl last year with the Rams, and they neutralized that pass rush. So the question is, can you win if you add Jalen Ramsey? The answer is no. They're not going to win the AFC with just adding Jalen Ramsey. It's going to have to be an upfront battle, and you're going to have to win that strategically more so than coverage.
Marcellus, I know you're on the other side of the argument than these guys, than Bucky, but didn't the Chiefs, haven't you said, the Chiefs led the league in sacks last year?
Yeah.
And so they had a pass rush last year against New England, and it wasn't enough. You're looking at a New England team that added Antonio Brown, and I know it was against the Dolphins, but in week one, it's like, and they know what to do with him. And so you're going to tell me the Patriots can add Antonio Brown, and the Chiefs don't need to add any more to compete with them?
Well, if you think about it, look, we're playing a little seesaw here. Do you want to attack him up front? Do you want to try and beat Tom Brady in coverage? Tom Brady, if you look at his numbers last postseason, every single game you basically saw decline. I don't know if that's age or you're playing stiffer competition every single round. You look against the Chiefs, 2 interceptions against the Chiefs. You're talking about 65 completion percentage. That's good. But the rating, quarterback rating, 77 for Tom Brady. They were doing something effective against Tom Brady with what they had, which was second to last. I'm now going to give my new defensive coordinator the opportunity to go out there and let this evolve. It's already evolved to 19th rank. It's already evolved to a Super Bowl level
2 weeks
defense.
in. 2 weeks in.
Okay, I get you. We always do this. 2 weeks in last year, I was saying Patrick Mahomes is the man.
No.
2 weeks in.
Okay, but again, I just heard Colin Cowherd make a hell of a point.
Okay.
7 teams, I think, last year started out 2-0.
And didn't make,
5 of them didn't make the playoffs.
So, yeah.
It's early to make any pronouncements about the Chiefs' defense, particularly no sacks from Frank Clark.
And that's fair. And that's fair. That is fair. But again, if we're saying, I'm not saying so much. It's not going at the Chiefs. It's basically saying, what is the formula if you want to win against the Patriots?
I'm going to tell you.
So I can be clear on that.
And Bucky's the former defensive back. He's the scout here. What's your take? How good is Jalen Ramsey? I think he is capable of being a Deion light type defensive back.
I put him in that class because he's a world-class athlete with all-pro skills. You talk about a guy that won the ACC long jump championships with a jump that was over 25 feet. So he's a spectacular athlete. He's long, he's rangy, he's physical, he's versatile in the way that he plays. He can press, he can play off, he's a willing tackler. He takes on the challenge of taking on the best guy. And so when I look at what we have to defend with the New England Patriots, you have to have weapons to match up with their weapons because the version that they're trying out this year is a much more explosive version than the one that we saw last year. Josh Gordon is healthy, and when he's healthy, he is a dude. You need someone that can physically take him on. You brought up Kendall Fuller. Maybe you put Kendall Fuller on AB, so now you can match Jalen Ramsey size for size on Josh Gordon. The thing that you have to have when you're Andy Reid, you have to have options. Because if you think you're going to play Tom Brady in a static defense, we're going to play Tampa 2 or we're going to play cover 1 the entire game, it's not going to work. But you got to have the firepower to be able to throw it at them.
But I like putting up, at least in mindset, mantra to my team, we have the same defense as the Rams who were in the Super Bowl last year, but we got a better offense. I like that.
True.
That's something I can actually use to galvanize my guys in terms of confidence. I also want to go out there and say, if Jalen Ramsey's the solution, that 7-catch, 132-yard, 2-touchdown performance last time Antonio Brown saw him in the playoff, is that what I really want to sell to my bunt?
Postseason. They had a regular season game in 2018 where Jalen was more effective.
Right.
I think they only completed 3 of 8 targets towards him when Ramsey was guarding him. The only thing I think you're missing, Marcellus, is a desperation from Clark Hunt, the owner, to Andy Reid, the head coach.
Desperation?
Yes. They have not had postseason success in a long time. They haven't been, that fan base is irate and frustrated and scared. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since Super Bowl III.
They were in the AFC Championship last year.
I got it.
And they got a
That's not the
third-year
Super Bowl.
quarterback.
That's not the Super Bowl.
I mean,
you gotta strike when the iron is hot.
That thing gonna be hot when we dead and gone. Patrick Mahomes is not going anywhere. Hello?
Yeah, but you got to think about this. Patrick Mahomes can get paid after next season.
He is.
After the season, that extension is coming. And with the TV revenue, who knows? He may get $250 million.
Yeah.
So now, if you're going to get Jalen Ramsey, you need to get the pieces now. You got Frank Clark lined up. Go ahead and get Jalen Ramsey. Make the trade. Lock him up. Make sure you have enough weapons so you can enjoy this run that you're going to have with your young quarterback. They also have Tyreek Hill. I think if you're the Chiefs, go all in. Because remember, people love draft picks. But I'm taking proven players over picks
I'm with
all
you there.
day.
24-year-old.
I mean,
but look, we all up here, we in the comps business. We are all real estate agents just talking sports. Let's be real about this. So if you look at the comps, I already told you about the Rams situation. The answer to this question, you won't know until it's too late. Think about it. If Jalen Ramsey's a solution, we're only waiting for one game to figure this out, the AFC Championship game. Now, I can be right, you can be right. But all the way up to that point, this is house money. Jalen Ramsey won't even have impact. Now, I'm not talking about production. I'm talking about impact. He has to get them over the hump. Now, what if they come out in that game and it's an offensive struggle? What if they come out in that game and there's just turnovers, sloppy weather? You gave up. You said Tyreek Hill and a first rounder?
No, I didn't say a first round. I said Tyreek Hill and a draft pick.
And a draft pick.
I didn't say.
Okay.
If you give up Tyreek Hill, you're not giving up a first rounder, in my opinion.
But Tyreek Hill.
But yeah, I would do that. Based off of what I'm seeing from these other wide receivers on the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes makes them. And I'm looking at all. Tyreek Hill was out last week.
Bucky, save him.
I'm sorry.
Whoa, I mean,
you got Travis Kelce.
I like Pat Mahomes, but
And
I'm
they
not
just paid
going
him.
to say that he elevated and makes Tyreek Hill. Tyreek is beep. That speed is real.
That's different.
I've never seen anybody as explosive
Yes.
as he is on the field. And that's saying,
Yes.
look, Deshaun Jackson is a big play special, but Tyreek Hill is something different. So now they have the perfect formula. That's why I'm saying you go all in. The weapons they have on offense with Pat Mahomes, to fortify that defense, you got a pass rusher and Frank Clark. You have another one in Chris Jones. You go and get a lockdown corner, a guy who specializes in locking it down in Jalen Ramsey.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.